Were you a before OKC? Were you a Seattle SuperSonics fan?
Not really. I was, yeah, everyone grew up with Chicago, so I was always Chicago. The only reason why I started following OKC was because of when they had KD and they went to the conference finals, the finals with Miami.
Yep.
Yeah, and so I started following them from there.
How do you feel about How do you feel about the OKC team now? Because like you were saying, like end of an era now, but if you think about why it's the end of an era, you have to go back to when they were last past the first round of the playoffs. And that was way back when KD last played for them.
Yeah,
So
KD,
so when KD left, OKC hasn't gone past the first round of the playoffs.
Nah, they haven't.
Yeah, so
yeah,
to me, like I know it's a new era in OKC now. Like Steven Adams is gone. Billy Dollarman's gone. He's gone to Chicago. They got their new coach, Mark Dagnall.
I only really watch the highlights.
Yeah,
I got rid of my NBA League Pass.
Oh yeah,
and because what is it? I do follow them on Facebook and stuff, but like ESPN doesn't really cover them as much as they did when Westbrook and Chris Paul was there. You know what I mean? Obviously they've fallen off the radar now because they've got a whole new team. I think Shea was the first player since KD and Westbrook to get 30 points, 30 plus points, or average 30 plus points. I think no, he doesn't average 30 points. He's been the first player since those two, I think, in their kind of early years to hit 30 points or double. I don't know what it was, but him, KD, and Westbrook are the only three to do it in OKC.
Yeah,
their team looks good, man. Like Baisley, bro, he's pretty dope, eh? And obviously with Dort, with his D, but his 3-pointing, I've seen some his shots are coming around. So obviously he's been working on his shooting in the off season. But
I was impressed with Lou Dort in the bubble last year.
Yeah.
Because he did a good job defending James Harden.
Yeah, defense in general, and it's because he's solid, eh? Like that's it, man. He's like, and he's smart too. The flick, because everyone's always going for the block, but I remember what's his name used to play for Miami. What was his name? Charms? No, not Chalmers. But he used to wave in front of their face. So instead of like you remember, what was his name? He's out of the NBA now, but he used to wave in front of their face to deflect the shot. Because when you see in a game, they always try and go for the block.
Yep.
And obviously they touch their hand, they foul them, or they or the momentum goes into them, which gives them the 4-point, gets them to the free throw line. But Lou was quite smart because he was doing basically that. He was distracting the shot, and and he's obviously he's quite resilient.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, obviously, and he's good at reading how people like their footwork and stuff. So his timing was anticipation. His anticipation was really good. Like anticipating where obviously Harden's got his step back. He's got his cross, does his little shimmy, and then he does he moves his right foot. If he's gonna go to the right, he moves his right foot to look like he's gonna drive, and then he steps back, obviously with his left to create that space. But Lou Dort, he read him well. He did good, man. But I really like Chris Paul. I thought Chris Paul was. Do
you reckon Chris Paul's a big loss for them? Because I remember last year. When they lost Westbrook, and I think OKC were written off. even though they did get Chris Paul that year.
Even I thought he was written off. You know?
Yeah. But they excelled. They made it to the playoffs even.
Yeah, I think they got about the same winning. I think it was around the same in regards to the regular season, the same amount of wins. But in regards to their first game against Houston, this is against Houston, because obviously they played Jazz when they had Paul George and Westbrook, and they got eliminated on the on the fifth game against the Utah Jazz.
Oh,
2019.
Yeah.
They only got up to game 5. And then were eliminated where last year, obviously the young team, I like Schroeder, man. I reckon Schroeder was a massive loss for OKC.
I was reading on NBA.com. They said that was like a deadly backcourt.
Yeah, that was mean. Schroeder, I like Schroeder. Like he's quite elusive. The way he play and his layups or his floaters, even his shooting, man, was on point, man.
Yeah.
He was the man.
Yeah. No, I was pretty happy about OKC's OKC last year in the bubble.
Obviously, Sam Presti's looking to the future and trying to do what the Warriors did, recruit some. So Shea's a definite. I reckon Beasley would be him, Beasley, and Lou. I think they'll build the team around those three.
Yeah,
those will be their main. I mean, Grant Hill, obviously him and Horford, they're good, but they'll probably get traded at the end of the year or moved on. Who knows? But I like Grant Hill, and I think he's quite dope.
The veteran.
the veteran.
Yeah, the veteran. Yeah, no, I think it makes sense for me. I think this team right now, it makes sense for me that they're in a rebuilding stage. Yeah. I think ever since KD left, they haven't been past that first round in the playoffs. So I think
I always said if KD and Chris Paul, so if KD, and I know KD will never go back to OKC because he said that, but if KD went to OKC and they had Chris Paul, they had the lineup they had last year, I reckon they could go all the way, man.
It looks like at the moment OKC is sitting on 11th place in the West. And
they're down from 8 because I know they lost the last 2 games. They lost to Lakers and lost to Spurs. And so they were in 8th place and they were fighting. But most of the teams are all on the same points. There's only like a point or 2 difference. Like I know from 5th to when I think OKC was 9th or 10th. So from 5th to 10th or 11th, 10th, all those teams were on like 4 and 4. Or 4-3. I can't remember, but it was like 4-4, and then OKC won. Spurs lost against Lakers, I think it was, and so put OKC into 8th, and then obviously Spurs beat them, and then Lakers. But it's still early days.
It's still early days, and that's why I think they're gonna sit. They're gonna be one of those teams that sit just below the 500. 500 mark, and so they'll be in there or out of there. I think they'll bounce around from 8, 9, 10.
A better shooter.
So who's your MVP at the end of the season?
End of the season.
MVP.
Ooh. Shea.
Yeah.
Gotta keep it loyal, bro.
I'm going for.
He'll definitely get most improved.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for LeBron for the best Steph Curry imitation. Did you see that shot
Curry,
last night? Oh,
Steph
okay.
Curry.
Yeah.
Nah, Steph Curry, bro.
Yeah.
That guy's turned their Warriors team around, man. I mean, look, last year, bro, they were at the bottom of the table, bro.
All right, so there's a bit of a we're gonna go back to this YouTube video after the finals, so we're gonna give our prediction now. All right, I'm going for LA Lakers to win it. What about you?
Oh, Put me on the spot. Clippers.
Ooh.
Clippers to win the Clippers to win the West, right?
Yeah.
Clippers and Nets in the finals. As I said, I've got Clippers as the favorites, but if Nets can figure out the chemistry between Harden and Kyrie, then Nets all day.
Okay, I'm going for Boston LA Lakers final, and LA will win.
Okay. Fast break points.
Fast break points. Get there first.
Hit it first, mate. Fast break points.
Daryl, bro, thanks for coming on board, bro.
Nah, man, all good, bro. We've been meaning to do this, man. You're just a busy man.
But this is not the main one. You know, when the borders open, you're back in Auckland, you're coming on the back of 135, man.
Oh man, catch up with the boys.
That's right.
With the boys.